All right, so get this. We're diving deep into AI that doesn't just, see a picture or read some text. It actually understands it and can take action based on that. Like, whoa.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing.
It is. Today we're talking about the Magma model,
Uh-huh.
a multimodal AI agent that's like changing the game.
It really is. What's super interesting about Magma is it can process, all sorts of inputs, like images and videos and text,
Right.
but it doesn't see them as like separate things. It
Yeah.
like brings it all together to actually understand the whole situation.
Yeah, so it's not just seeing a red light.
Right.
It's understanding that red light means stop.
Exactly.
That's a big difference.
Huge. Magma, it's a foundation model developed by some brilliant minds over at Microsoft Research and the University of Maryland. And foundation models, think of them like the super athletes of the AI world.
Okay.
They're trained on just massive amounts of data.
Yeah.
So they can take on all kinds of new challenges, like without needing to be retrained every single time.
So it's kind of like giving Magma a crash course in, well, everything.
Pretty much, yeah.
But what sets Magma apart from other AI models, especially in the multimodal space? What makes it so unique?
It's the comprehension. It goes beyond just labeling stuff. It understands the context, like the nuances. Show Magma a picture of, like, a guy ironing clothes, but he's doing it on top of a taxi.
Okay, random.
Right. Totally random. But Magma won't just be like, oh, there's a man ironing. It'll be like, hold on, this is weird. Why is he ironing on a taxi?
It's like Magma can see those little things that would make us, as humans, kind of cock our heads and be like, what's going on here?
Exactly.
So it's not just processing the image at face value. It's understanding the oddities, the unusualness of it.
Absolutely. It gets it. And what's even cooler is when you apply this to videos,
Oh, yeah. How does it handle moving pictures?
Magma can, watch a video and answer those tricky questions about what happened, like in what order.
Okay.
Like imagine you show it security camera footage.
Okay.
It could actually tell you, like, what date somebody left based on what it sees in the video.
Wow.
That's serious temporal understanding. Like, it's getting the timeline.
It's understanding the flow of events, not just like a snapshot in time.
Yeah.
That's incredible. But how does it take all of that understanding and actually do something with it? How does it know what actions to take?
That is where the real magic happens. They introduced this cool concept called set of mark. It's called sum.
Okay.
And trace of mark, Tom.
Okay, I'm following.
Think of it this way. Imagine you're studying for a test and you're like highlighting the important stuff in your textbook.
Okay, yeah, been there.
Sum is like highlighting, but for AI.
Okay.
So instead of just feeding Magma a bunch of raw pixels, right?
Yeah.
They train it on images where the important objects, like the things it might need to interact with, buttons or tools, they're marked with numbers, like little labels.
So it's like giving Magma a cheat sheet, kind of highlighting what it needs to pay attention to.
Exactly. It helps it zero in on where the action is. Now imagine you take that highlighting and you extend it through time. That's Tom.
Okay, so that's like following the action.
Yes. Magma learns to predict how those labeled things will move. Like, it's understanding the paths those objects take, which lets it plan a sequence of actions.
So it's getting a sense of timing and spatial awareness. Like it's almost thinking ahead, planning its moves.
It really is. That's what makes it so capable of doing these complex tasks.
Wow, that's amazing. But how does Magma learn to do all of this? Like, what does its training look like?
Magma's training, that's what sets it apart. It doesn't just focus on one type of data.
Uh-huh.
It's trained on a crazy mix of sources,
Okay.
making it super adaptable. Think of it like a buffet of information.
Ooh, a buffet. All right, what kind of data are we talking about here?
Well, one of the main dishes is something called UI datasets, like see-click.
Okay.
This data set, they're all about how we humans interact with, websites and apps, clicking buttons, filling out forms, all that fun stuff.
Navigating the digital world.
Exactly. By learning from this, Magma gets how those interfaces work, how to use them effectively.
So it's like teaching it to be a web surfing pro.
Exactly.
What else is on this AI to say?
Next up, we've got robotics data sets, like OpenX embodiment.
Okay.
This is where Magma gets its real-world knowledge. It learns from robots, doing actual physical tasks, picking stuff up, moving things around.
So it's going from clicking buttons to actually manipulating objects in real space.
Yep. Pretty wild, right? But wait, there's more. Magma also bunches on instructional videos, datasets like Ego4D, Epic Kitchen, something V2. They all show humans doing things, like cooking, building furniture.
It's like binge watching YouTube tutorials.
Aha, exactly.
But how can it learn from those if the videos don't explicitly explain each step?
That's where Tom comes back in. Remember, it's all about predicting movements.
Right.
So Magma can watch those videos and kind of figure out what's happening just by seeing how things move. It's like learning by osmosis. just absorbing knowledge by watching.
It's like it's reading between the frames, picking up on those subtle cues.
Precisely. And then to top it all off, Magma gets a serving of multimodal understanding datasets, like ShareGPT-4v and LOV 1.5.
Okay.
These datasets, they pair images with text, making Magma even better at connecting, what it sees to language.
So it's not just understanding the images and videos on their own, it's learning how to tie those visuals to words and meaning.
Exactly. So it's like Magma is learning to speak the language of both the visual and the textual world.
That's incredible. And all in all, how much data are we talking about here?
It's a lot. We're talking a whopping 39 million diverse samples. This buffet is massive. Gives Magma an experience that most specialized models just can't match.
So it's a serious multitasker.
Big time.
But the big question is, does all this training actually translate to real-world performance? Does Magma actually live up to all the hype?
That's what we're going to dive into next. And let me just say, Magma's not just passing the test. It's setting new standards. And what's really cool is how well it does in these zero-shot scenarios.
Zero shot, remind me what that means again?
It means Magma can take on tasks it's never, ever been specifically trained on.
Okay.
Like imagine giving it a brand new website, one it's never seen before,
Uh-huh.
and asking it to, book a flight.
Okay.
Magma can often figure it out, even without step-by-step instructions or examples.
So it's like thinking on its feet,
Exactly.
applying its knowledge to new situations without needing someone to hold its hand.
It's a game changer. That adaptability means we can potentially use Magma in so many different real-world applications
Right.
without retraining it for every little thing.
Okay, I'm definitely intrigued. Let's get into those results and see how Magma actually performs. Okay, so we know Magma's training is like super diverse, gives it a whole bunch of skills, but now I'm really curious to hear how it performs. Does it actually live up to the hype?
Magma's performance is where things get really exciting. It's not just about understanding, it's about actually using that knowledge to take action. And the results across all these different tasks, let me tell you, they are impressive.
All right, break it down for me. You mentioned zero-shot performance earlier. What kind of task are we talking about here?
Let's start with UI navigation. Imagine you ask Magma to book a flight on a website, but it's a website Magma has never seen before.
Okay.
Magma can often figure this out, navigating those menus, choosing options, even filling out forms, all without any specific training on that exact website.
That's incredible. It's like having a virtual assistant that can do all those tedious things online for you.
Exactly. And what's even crazier is that Magma often does better than models that are specifically built for UI navigation. Even when you compare it to GPT-4v with OmniParser, that's like a powerhouse combo. Magma still holds its own. It's amazing how well it can apply its knowledge to new things.
So it's not just beating the average, it's competing with like the top dogs. But how does it handle tasks that are more physical, like things that require moving objects around in the real world?
That's where all that training on robotics data really pays off. In simulations, they gave Magma instructions like put the carrot on the plate or put the object in the drawer. Those are tasks that require, being super precise with movements, understanding where things are in space, being able to plan a whole sequence of actions.
Those sound like pretty tough challenges, even for us humans sometimes.
Right. But Magma was incredibly successful. It completed these tasks at rates that blew previous models like OpenVLA out of the water. It was so accurate, so smooth. Really remarkable to see.
So it's not just a brainiac in the digital world, it's got some real-world skills, too. It sounds like the Sam and Tom stuff is really working.
The researchers actually did something called ablation studies. They took Sam and Tom out of Magma's training
Okay.
to see how much they actually contributed to its performance.
So it's like taking away its secret weapons to see if it can still fight.
Exactly. And the results were pretty clear. Magma's performance on all sorts of tasks, like navigating user interfaces and doing those robot things, it took a nosedive without Sam and Tom. So those innovations are definitely key to Magma's success.
It makes sense. It needs those tools to understand and interact with the world. But how does Magma do with actual robots, not just in simulations?
They put it to the test with a WidowOS 250 robot arm, giving it instructions like pick place hot dog sausage, put mushroom in pot, or push cloths right to left.
Those tasks require like real dexterity, fine motor control. We're not talking about just waving its arm around randomly.
Nope, definitely not. And what's amazing is that after a little bit of fine-tuning, Magma was able to complete these tasks. It was so accurate, so fluid. Remember OpenVLA, the one that struggled with similar tasks? Magma just crushed them.
So it's a major improvement in controlling real-world robots. That's huge. But what really stands out to me is its ability to generalize. You said it could navigate a new website it had never seen before.
Right.
Did they test that with the robot arm too?
They did. They gave it a task it had never seen before. Push cloth left to right, All it had learned was to push from right to left.
So basically the reverse of what it knew. Could it figure it out?
It did, and it was seamless, showing that Magma can actually learn and adapt on the fly. That's what's so exciting about this. We're moving towards AI that can learn new things and use their knowledge in a bunch of situations, even if they haven't been explicitly taught how to do it.
That's wild. It really highlights how far we've come with AI. It's not just about following a script anymore. It's about being able to learn and adapt and even solve problems in new and unexpected ways. But I have to ask, what does this mean for the average person? How will all this actually affect our lives?
That is the million-dollar question. Magma itself might not be something you'll directly interact with, but it's paving the way for tech that could seriously change how we live, how we work, how we have fun. Magma is like a stepping stone, showing us what's possible in the future of AI.
So it's about the bigger picture. It's about how these technologies could reshape our world. Can you give me some concrete examples? How might this play out?
Let's start with the digital world, something we're all familiar with. Imagine browsing the web, but without that frustration of clicking buttons or scrolling forever. Your AI assistant just gets what you want, predicts what you're looking for, and seamlessly takes you there.
Like having a mind-reading web browser.
Exactly. And this goes way beyond browsing. Imagine a world where you can talk to your apps and devices. You can use gestures or even just your thoughts. Need to schedule something, adjust your thermostat, order groceries. Just tell your AI and it's done. No more messing around with complicated menus and stuff.
So it's all about making technology easier to use, making it more intuitive.
Right.
I like that. But how about the physical world? What kind of impact will these AI advancements have on the way we interact with the things around us?
This is where robotics comes in. Magma's success with that robot arm shows us that in the future, robots could learn by watching and interacting with humans. They'll get better at things over time and be able to adapt to new situations. Imagine robots helping out with chores around the house, working in factories, even caring for the elderly or people with disabilities.
So no more mind your dishes. Sign me up. But seriously, this could be life-changing for people who need help with everyday tasks.
Exactly. It could give them more independence and a better quality of life.
It's about empowering people, giving them the tools and support they need.
Precisely. Think about a robot that can learn to cook your favorite meal just by watching you in the kitchen. It sees what you do, how you do it, and eventually it can do it too. And it's not about replacing humans. It's about giving us a helping hand.
That's a good point. So we've talked about the digital world and the physical world. What about other areas like healthcare? How will AI affect things there?
Healthcare is about to be totally transformed by AI. We already talked about surgical robots, but AI can also revolutionize how we diagnose diseases, discover new drugs, and personalize medicine. Imagine AI that can look at tons of medical data, spot patterns you might miss, and recommend treatments based on your specific genes and lifestyle.
It's like having a doctor with superpowers, one that can see everything going on inside you and predict health issues before they even happen.
Exactly. But it's important to remember that with any powerful technology, there are potential downsides. We need to be careful and make sure AI is developed and used responsibly and ethically.
That's a good reminder. We've been talking about the positives, but what are some of the potential risks?
One of the big ones is that as AI gets better at doing things humans currently do, some jobs might disappear. We need to think ahead and figure out how to deal with this change. We need to make sure people have the skills and opportunities to succeed in an economy that's driven by AI.
It's like the Industrial Revolution, but happening much, much faster.
Right. We need to be ready for these changes and make sure that everyone benefits from AI, not just a select few.
That's really important. And what about bias in these AI systems?
That's a big one. If they learn from biased data, they can actually make those biases worse. That could lead to unfair or discriminatory decisions. We need to make sure the data used to train AI is diverse and representative, and that we have ways to spot and fix bias.
So it's about making sure that AI is used for good, that it reflects our values, and doesn't make existing inequalities even worse.
Absolutely.
We've covered a lot about the benefits and the potential risks of AI. What else should we be thinking about?
Transparency. AI systems are getting more complex, so we really need to understand how they make decisions. We have to find ways to make AI more explainable. That will help us trust its judgments and make sure it's being used ethically.
It's about building trust and accountability into these systems. We need to know how they work and make sure their goals align with ours.
Exactly. And with Magma, what we're seeing is that the possibilities for AI are massive, and they keep growing. It's such a powerful tool. It could change so many aspects of our lives. The important thing is to be careful and thoughtful about how we develop and use it, making sure it benefits all of humanity.
It's been amazing exploring the world of Magma and all these multimodal AI agents. We've seen how it could change everything from how we experience the internet to how we interact with the physical world.
Right.
It feels like we're on the edge of a whole new era, one where AI isn't just a sci-fi idea anymore.
It's becoming an integral part of our lives.
Exactly.
And as we move into this new era, it's up to all of us to shape the future of AI.
I like that.
By staying informed, talking about these issues, and demanding transparency and ethical development, we can make sure that AI is used to create a better future for everyone.
It's been an awesome journey diving deep into Magma and the world of multimodal AI. Hopefully, this has got you thinking and shown you just how many incredible possibilities are out there. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep imagining what the future holds. So, we've talked a lot about Magma, how it works, how well it does in the digital world, and even with physical tasks. It's all really cool. But I think it's time we talk about the big question. What does all this mean for like regular people? How is this AI stuff going to change our lives?
Yeah, that's what everyone wants to know. And while you might not be using Magma directly yourself, it's like a blueprint for future tech that could change everything, how we live, work, have fun, all of it. Think of Magma as like a sneak peek, a sign of what's coming with AI.
Okay, so it's about the bigger picture, how this could change the world. But can you give me some like real world examples? How might this actually play out?
Sure, let's start with the online world, something we all use all the time. Imagine browsing the web, but without all the annoying clicks and scrolling and stuff. Your AI assistant just knows what you want, predicts it, and takes you right there.
Like a mind reading web browser.
Exactly. And it's not just browsing. Think about talking to your apps and devices, using hand gestures, or even just your thoughts. Need to make an appointment, change the temperature, order groceries. Just tell your AI and it's done. No more messing around with complicated menus or anything.
So it's all about making technology easier and more intuitive to use. I like that.
Yeah. And then there's the physical world. Remember Magma controlling that robot arm? It shows us that robots could learn by watching us, by interacting with us. They can get better at stuff and learn to adapt. Imagine robots helping around the house, working in factories, taking care of people who need help.
No more dishes or laundry. Count me in. But really, for people who need help with daily tasks, that could be huge.
Absolutely. It could give them more freedom and improve their quality of life.
It's about empowering people, right?
Exactly. Imagine a robot that learns to cook your favorite dish by just watching you in the kitchen. It sees how you do it and learns your techniques. And it's not about replacing humans, it's about helping us out.
I see your point. So we've talked digital, physical. What about other fields like healthcare? What kind of impact will AI have there?
Healthcare is going to be totally different with AI. We already talked about surgical robots, but AI could change how we diagnose diseases, develop new drugs, and personalize treatments. Imagine AI that can analyze mountains of medical data, find patterns we might miss, and suggest treatments tailored just for you based on your genes and lifestyle.
Wow. It's like having a doctor with superpowers, one that can see inside you and predict health problems before they even happen. That could totally change preventative medicine.
It could, but it's important to remember that with any powerful tech, there could be downsides. We need to be really careful and develop and use AI responsibly and ethically.
That makes sense. We've been focusing on the good stuff, but what about the potential risks? What should we be worried about?
Well, one thing is jobs. As AI gets better at doing things humans do now, some jobs might go away. We need to start planning for that now and figure out how to handle this change. Make sure people have the skills to succeed in a world with more and more AI.
It's like the Industrial Revolution, but happening super fast.
Right. We need to be ready to make sure everyone benefits from AI, not just a few people.
That's really important. What about bias in AI systems? I've heard about that.
That's a big one. If these systems learn from data that's biased, they can make those biases even worse, leading to unfair decisions. We need to make sure the data used to train AI is diverse and represents everyone, and we need ways to find and fix bias.
So it's about making sure AI is used for good, that it reflects our values and doesn't make inequality worse.
Exactly. And then there's transparency. As AI gets more and more complex, we need to understand how it makes decisions. We need to make AI explainable so we can trust its judgment and make sure it's being used ethically.
It's about making sure we can trust these systems, that they're accountable, and working with our best interests in mind.
Yes, Magma has shown us that the possibilities with AI are enormous and constantly evolving. It's incredibly powerful and could change our lives in so many ways. The key is to be thoughtful and careful, make sure it's used to help humanity.
This has been an amazing journey, exploring Magma and these multimodal AI agents. We've seen how they could change everything from our online lives to how we physically interact with the world. It feels like we're on the edge of a whole new era where AI is becoming a part of everyday life.
It is, and as we move into this future, it's up to all of us to shape how AI develops.
I love that.
By staying informed, having these conversations, and demanding transparency and ethical development, we can help make sure AI creates a better future for everyone.
This deep dive into Magma and the world of multimodal AI has been mind-blowing. We've seen some incredible possibilities. Hopefully, this has sparked your curiosity and got you thinking about the future. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep imagining what's next. Until next time.